Hello, friends. It's E. Giuliano, and it's a quick turnaround. We are still the 24th of February, nearing the end of the day, UTC time frame, and I'm here back with another BTC dump update. I'm going to share my screen. I hope that this works out for you. We're going to talk some Neowave logic and just go through some ideas here. All right, so firstly, we have the monthly chart again. If you want more ideas and just more context, watch the previous video from less than 24 hours ago, really. This is the candle we're working on now. And, you can see that things can quickly change. But basically this line here, this 20-month moving average is of course an important and considerable support zone. Now we move into a weekly time frame, and you can see the crucifix cross candle. It has specific proportions above and below. I'm kidding, but it would probably be. But yeah, now you can see. Look, we touched at the bottom of the weekly cloud of the Ichimoku cloud is really key. We also retested the downtrending. What was previously a 2 to 4 trend. A 0 to 2 trend line from the very beginning of the move from back in November, the move down. So anyway, this Ichimoku cloud, this downtrending, previously resistance, now turning support after being broken through back here. So that's quite interesting. So I guess, yeah, I think we are out of it. We do bounce. This is the touch, okay? And I do believe we start bouncing, and maybe there's another touch that comes later on with some wicks or whatever. That's not the point, but I think that this is an important time frame right now. And we're going to go lower time frame and take a look at what's happening there. So let's take a look now on the daily and what's going on. Well, what previously was a huge dump candle has now turned into also a huge up candle at the same time. And you notice, okay, we touched top of the Bollinger Band, passed right through the 20 moving average, right down to the bottom, piercing it, but really it's holding at the bottom level of the Bollinger Band, at least for now. It's also relating now as this kind of support level. Okay, interesting. So this, when we look at lower time frames, it's going to say to me that we have made, okay, the whole thesis here was we're going to be in this triangulation or choppy fifth wave. We're looking at a potential C wave here of a flat pattern. Might not be that, but that's what seems to be playing out. Now, when exactly do these waves happen is not as clear, but I did say come back when we're going to start reversing. Well, it looks like we started reversing, and I'll get onto the 4-hour to say why I think so. But anyway, what I would like to look at here is how quickly the volatility is, well, not how quickly, but just how, yeah, because quickly is part of volatility, but just how much volatility we can expect now. Look at this daily candle, it's wild. Okay, so we're gonna start thinking now from a Neowave perspective as well. And we're gonna start thinking about waves, right? We've already discussed a little bit about these waves that we're looking to be in now, and that's lining up with previous waves. And I don't know exactly if that's what's happening, but that's what we're looking at. And last time we looked at this ABC move right here that we potentially had. And then now I'm gonna talk about the next ideas. So it's gonna have to do with like how big and fast a move is, okay? And also trending moves. All right, so let's do that. Okay, so if we look at a 4-hour time frame, okay, I want to mention that we're going to think about trending waves versus counter trend waves. So generally, the general idea is a trending wave is faster and is could arguably be more simple, or yeah, it just goes from point A to B much more quickly, and it's generally impulsive, we might say. A counter trend wave is generally corrective. Okay, it can have impulses in it. That's why you can see a decent sized big fast move here, but it's, let's say of a smaller degree, and it is, let's say, the beginning of this entire what was considered a flat pattern of a B wave, right? So that would be the counter trend wave. The B wave would be the counter trend wave, and that comes in when we start talking this. So we have trending waves and counter trend waves, and a trending wave moves in the direction of the trend, and it's generally a bigger, faster move. That which makes a trending wave, and oftentimes that signals the start of something new, whether it's on a smaller degree or a bigger degree or a similar degree. Okay, like we see these big fast moves here, so those are trending moves, whereas all of this took a lot longer, and so the whole thing could be considered a counter trend move. But within it, you had fast move up, and then you had some chop, and then you had another fast move up. Okay, and then here you have this choppy thing. So in the Neowave ideas, my thinking here, especially as we worked on this, okay, or I was working on it in my own thoughts, this move is faster and bigger, so that means it's more significant in that sense, and it's probably the start of the next wave, which would be this one wave of the overall 5 wave that we seem to be in, and also the end of simultaneously the 4 wave of this bigger 5 wave impulse, which makes the C. Okay, so that's trending versus counter trend wave, and we're going to look at it relative to Ichimoku study, because in that sense it's like when did the counter trend wave cross the Ichimoku cloud? When did the counter trend wave cross the Ichimoku cloud? It was there, okay, and it was there. So in the 2 to 4, sorry, not even when did it, I just gave away the answer. Oh, I just ruined the idea. But basically, when did the price move across the Ichimoku cloud? It was during the counter trend wave of the bigger move. In the counter trend wave of the smaller degree, okay, the price didn't cross the Ichimoku cloud, but it did touch it. Okay, so that would have been there, and then we had the cross here, which was on a bigger degree here, 2 wave. Next, we again had this price action down here. This 4 wave here didn't cross the Ichimoku cloud, but this 4 wave of the bigger degree did. So what am I saying? The point is that now we might be looking at, let's say, some sort of 3, because if we are in a terminal impulse type of pattern to complete this 5th wave, then it's in fact on a Neowave method made up of 3s. Okay, I don't know what it'll look like or which construction it would be, but it could be 3 and then 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay. So in that sense, what's starting to come to consideration here is this move here that we're currently in, which went firstly of this degree here went down and now is going back up. Is this potential counter trend move? Anyway, I'm giving it away, but it looks like we're starting something new. But anyway, but it's maybe of the smaller degree. So this is new, maybe the start of the B wave. So this would have been the A wave, this would be the B wave, and this then would have the C wave. In fact, like we said, though, it would be more complex, and maybe it would triangulate and become a triangle before making the C wave. And that's where we're going to look at this idea of the zigzag. So bear with me. So in terms of the Ichimoku study, then I think we can expect to cross the Ichimoku on this 2, okay, which mirrors potentially, and well, even then, like, would we cross it? We didn't cross it here and here, but in that sense, though, maybe as we are finishing price action, maybe it will cross it or work into it, or just chop around, and the cloud itself will chop around. Who knows what's going to happen? And then we'll have a reversal at some point of significance of the bigger degree, like this. Okay, that bigger degree, and that would signal the end of whatever we're in currently, and this is the final down wave of it if we're making some sort of 5 wave move down. Yeah, so okay, so that's the Ichimoku cloud idea, because on the 4-hour time frame, here we go on the 4-hour time frame, we are coming towards this Ichimoku cloud area. Are we going to keep going higher, or is the 200 period moving average going to serve as resistance, the Ichimoku cloud serve as resistance, and in fact just chop through a B wave of this bigger degree here? So this would be some sort of A, and now we're starting whatever the B is going to be, and then we'll find our C whenever that happens. And this is going to be of a lower degree. And we're going to make it a minor degree, and there you go. Okay, so we don't know, but that's what we're going to play with now. We're going to, let's save that for now. Good, and jump right into it again. Okay. Okay, so what we want to look at now is this idea. Okay, so we got the Ichimoku cloud idea. Maybe we're going to stay below it or chop within it, but it doesn't look like we are going to necessarily move the B wave above it. But again, we'll see. That's something we're going to pay attention to. The next is this bigger, faster move is going to be a trending wave, and it's going to be start of something new. So what we have, like when I counted it, this move is bigger. Okay, look where this one starts. Okay, let's go zoom in here. Let's talk about bigger, faster move, trending wave, start of something new. Okay, bigger, faster move. All right, oh, let's change the color. Okay. Oh, I see why. Because it's so light. Okay, so this bigger, faster move right here, okay, is the start of something new. And generally, if this is going to be some sort of ABC, then it would be a 5-wave move for the A. And so we would say, okay, this is a big, fast move. That would probably be a 1, and then you have a consolidation. Then you have a next big, fast move, but it's not bigger than this, but it's probably just the next part of this trend. And somehow we get these. We still have this big, fast move, and we also have this kind of zigzaggy move up here. So in that sense, this is probably counter trend, and so it looks like we still have a trending move this way. But so in that sense, that's what allows me to say, okay, this is probably where the A finishes, because we do have some sort of 1 and a 2, and maybe there's complexity here in the correction, but we have our 3 here somewhere, a 4 and a 5. Either that, or we're still actually in the 4 right now of a bigger zigzag, and that's also possible. Okay, it's definitely possible. But when we use trend line touch points, that would probably be like, so you get like a 0 to 2 trend line here, and then you break it again. So was this part of the correction, and now the 0 to 2 trend line goes here? Could be, and then you impulse down here. Okay, fine. Then we break it with this one. So that's probably, so this would make a 0 to 2 trend line, break it. That's a 2 to 4 trend line here. And that's what we have actually here in the purple. Okay, and in fact, we did break the 2 to 4 trend line, and we broke this level in the same amount of time. Now on this lower degree, is it exactly necessary? I'm not sure, but anyway, it's a sign of reversal. It's a sign of change. So we broke this 2 to 4 trend line, purported 2 to 4 trend line. Okay, and we also broke the price level. You know, this final wave here took 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to say 5 candles, because you get your lowest price here, right? So in that sense, it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles here. Okay, and then the coming out of it took also, because it goes back up in this candle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. So same amount of time, okay, but also it went higher, and also yeah. So in that sense, it does show significance, and it is a strong, fast move, and it is bigger than this one. So it's something new, most likely. And because we had a move down, now we're getting a move up, and this looked trending for the down movements, as we were already seeing the trend. So therefore, this is probably a counter trend move within the bigger degree one wave. So that's basically what I'm seeing here. And we've hit a 200 period moving average as a good resistance. We'll have the Ichimoku probably as resistance, probably figure out what needs to happen here in terms of the correction, right? And so we'll leave the 2 to 4 trend line. This, in that sense, I see this as a fifth wave, but you know, we can test these relationships and see for ourselves. On that sense, it's like, it's too similar. They're too similar. It just doesn't look like an impulse. There's all of these chunks really are like a 1-to-1. So already this could be some sort of zigzag, and we're already in a 2. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Okay, so that's the other thing. We could have some sort of A, B, and a C, or whatever's happening here. Yeah, definitely. But okay, you know, we might already be here. All right, but I'm not sure. So this seems to be working out so far the best. So we're going to leave it like this as the primary idea. And so that's that idea of bigger, faster moves, trending waves, starting something new. We're at the beginning of either it's going to be an ABC formation to create the B, or it's going to be an ABCDE formation to create the B, but it's going to be something corrective that would create the B. Okay, either that, or it's going to be something corrective that creates this next 2 wave. And we've had our 3 down to create the 1. We've already had a 3 move down as a combination of correction. Okay, but anyway, I'm not going to repeat that. Basically, we're going to work with the ABC first and see what happens there until we consider otherwise, because we want to keep the degree similar, right? We're looking at the same degrees as these moves here. In that sense, you know, if this 5 wave, it could be relative to this 1 wave, the 3 wave, you know, all these. And then when we look at the other moves back here, those were also like that. But maybe it also needs to start expanding. And so that's when we can start to look at the comparison of this whole 5th wave compared to the 1st and the 3rd. And maybe, you know, you add number 1 and number 3 equals number 5. That's something that we can look at, you know. 1, and then the 3 starts about here. The 3 is just more than 1, but less than 1618. So the 5 would be just more than 2. This whole 5, this red 5, would be just more than 2, between 2 and 2618 of the of this 1 move. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to take this. Oops. And we're going to take it from this potential beginning of a 5th wave here and say here's 2 and 2618. So it's somewhere around here if it's going to be 1 plus 3 equals 5. So anyway, that's possible. Okay, so that's that thought. I didn't think we were going to get into time analysis, but there we are for now. Yeah, the next thing is, that's the idea, like this, the trending wave in a correction is going to be the A, the C, or the E. And in the impulsion, it's going to be a 1, 3, and a 5. So in that sense, this move here is either going to be a 1, 3, 5, or it's going to be part of a correction and it's going to be an A, C, or E. So that's why I'm saying it might be the beginning of a B and it's an A wave. Having said that, yeah, I think that's all I really want to say. Oh, and then in terms of the zigzag, if we're making a bigger zigzag that leads to a C down here, then this whole wave here, if it is indeed an impulse wave, we do not want it to finish. We do not want it to finish like the B wave. We do not want it to retrace more than 61.8%. It should retrace less than 61.8% to maintain a status as a zigzag. I got totally lost there. Sorry about that. So if we go all the way down here and take this move and then come up to roughly here where we say, okay, fine, this might be our top level. We're in the cloud. We already touched it. There's 200 moving average here. Okay. So in that sense, oh, that would be the extension. I wanted to just measure the retracement of that. We want to retrace it and say, okay, so that is roughly at 61.8% already. So if it's already at 61.8%, then actually, you know, we're already fulfilling potential that if it's going to go higher, then we're probably not in a zigzag, and maybe we start looking at something else. Again, it might already be that two-way. But having said that, we'll see. So here we are at a 61.8% retracement already. That means that we'll likely start going down. We already did if you start looking at the wick here, and I don't want to speak too soon, but it is a 4-hour chart, and yeah, we'll see what starts happening here. I mean, the daily candle, if we start looking again at candles, it likely will form a very volatile intermediate style candle, which probably means the beginning of some chop. But anyway, okay. So the next thing is what I wanted to take into consideration is then if we are indeed going to make a zigzag and this is an A and we have a B around here for a 61.8 retrace, what would the C be? Okay, would the A to C wave relationship be 1-to-1? Would it be 1 to 78.6% instead of 1-to-1? So we'll take a look. So we'll take our extension tool and we'll go from top to bottom here and back around to that 61.8 level and say, okay, cool. 1-to-1 is about 31K. And then 1 to 78.6 is around 32, 33K. So there you have it. It's not exactly precise, but especially depending where the B wave ends, if the B wave ends here or here, whatever, you might be pulling it from different levels. Also, yeah, that's basically it. Enjoy 31K, 32, 33K. Between 31 and 33 is a zone of strong confluence for reboundation. So, and I mean, I'm not the only one to say that, and of course, everybody knows that when they look left on the chart. But that's why maybe, you know, sometimes I start to wonder, is it already moving into this two-wave? But anyway, we're going to see how that works. I think that's it for now. I don't have much else to say. I wanted to offer these thoughts on trending waves, big fast moves, and also the relevance of the Ichimoku cloud in terms of a counter trend wave versus a trending wave, and what we have here in terms of what this is. This could be that counter trend wave, regardless if it's a B or a 2, but will it go beyond the Ichimoku cloud? We'll see. Interesting. Lots of chop here. I won't be surprised. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, the reason why, I'm so glad I didn't forget. The reason why, and I'd probably bring it back, but we'll go on to the daily to look at it, okay? So I hope you've enjoyed this little presentation. Let us go back to the daily and say, okay, on a daily, right, if we start looking at this price action, yeah, so I don't know, maybe people are already talking about it, but we're starting to look at something like this, right? Head and shoulders, is that you know what people like to look at it, right? So in that sense, we get something like this, people will think, okay, head and shoulders break down this level, and it becomes a big dump move to the downside. So that could trap people in terms of the end of this wave here that we're in over here. You know, whatever, if we're going to be coming down to this level, I think it looks even better on the 4 hour actually. We start looking at it like this and we say, you know, shoulder, head, shoulder, well, oops. So maybe it's a little weak. I would imagine that we should be getting a bit more of an action down to here, and that could create us a nice enough shoulder. You know, we would need some chop like we had here, get some chop, and then come down to this level. Oops, then come down to this level. What did I do there? Nope. Yeah, so get some sort of chop around here, come down towards these levels like we had seen, and maybe even lower. And, you know, maybe you start going like something like this, like this, like this. And you have, you know, you have your neckline like that kind of a thing. And yeah, instead of, and then, yeah, that creates a great opportunity for the market makers to trap people either long or short, depending on what ends up happening. Most likely they'll trap them short and go long again based on what we're counting here. So that would make a lot of sense. Out of all of this, I think that's why I remain with this idea of an A, a B, and a C, because it fits in also with the head and shoulders idea, the idea of trapping, the idea of maintaining the chop, and just like churning things before the big fast reversal on the bigger scale. So yeah, anyway, I think that's it. Those are my thoughts for now. And it's just, action is fun one way or the other. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope this has been helpful for you. And then that's it for now. Okay, until next time, I'm wishing you love, peace, happiness, and calm, right? All that good stuff. Goodbye. Enjoy entertainment. Wishing you good entertainment.